Hey, Reddit, Rich from Billetsman here. I want to talk to you about galling. This is something I feel the EDC world is just completely clueless about, and I'm not talking about makers. I truly don't know what other makers are using. I don't want to know. I don't want to get caught in a mind rut doing the same thing other people are doing, and I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody. This is just 35 years of machining experience. I'm not a metallurgist, so take this with a grain of salt, okay? So, what is galling? Let's talk about the material that I work with that is the worst when it comes to galling by a large margin, and that is titanium. So, what does it mean? If I have a block of titanium and a block of titanium, raw, clean, no lubrication, I put them together and I put about a pound of pressure on them and I start rubbing them like this, immediately chunks of this block will embed in chunks of this block and vice versa. And after a short amount of time, it will seize up. You won't even be able to move them anymore, and the surface finishes will just be awful because pieces of them have been welded to the other one. That's what galling is. Now, there's ways around this with surface treatments and lubrication. Surface treatments, though, on heirloom quality stuff, after 100 years, if you wear through that surface treatment and you get to the bare titanium, it's going to seize up, it's going to gall, and it's catastrophic. It's not going to work anymore. There's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. What's the next one? Aluminum. Aluminum on aluminum. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Not as bad as titanium, but close. Now, there's different alloys of both of those that some are less prone to galling than others, so keep that in mind. Now, lastly, stainless steel. Stainless steel is not nearly as prone to galling as titanium and aluminum, but if you put enough pressure on it, it will. So light pressure titanium or stainless on stainless, you'd be totally fine. Even without lubrication, it'll work. But if you were to take those blocks now and put 100 pounds of pressure on them and slide them, they will gall. So I personally don't even like using galling materials with other galling materials, stainless steel and titanium. I will do it. I have done it. The actuator ring is stainless steel. Not on this one, this is Zerk, but titanium actuator ring. It works because there's not hardly any pressure, there's not hardly any friction, but the Campen mech is lube sensitive. You have to have lube in it. Now, what material is anti-galling? Bronze. It will not gall. You can try to make it gall and it will not gall. It can be dry, clean, it's not going to matter. It's made to not gall. It's its sole purpose in life. It's made to have things rubbed up against it, just like me, okay? I'm the freaking bronze of the world. So anyways, bronze is also extremely wear resistant and abrasion resistant. What does that mean? It means if I had a chunk of stainless steel, a chunk of titanium, a chunk of bronze, a chunk of aluminum, whatever, and I hit them on a belt sander for the same amount of time with the same amount of pressure, and you looked at how much material was removed, the bronze would be one of the least. It would have one of the least. Titanium would also have a lot less than the others, but that's what it's made for, abrasion resistant. So bushings, anytime you have things rubbing against each other out in the world, you're going to see bronze is being used. It is a little bit heavier. It's not copper heavy, but it is a little bit heavier. This is the trade-off. Now, Zerk is another one. Zerk will gall, but when you have the oxide layer, when you flame it, it turns black. That oxide layer is very hard, and it seems like it has built-in lubricity, so it's very, very smooth. You'll know that if you have Zerk pens and you screw them together, how good they feel compared to like titanium. That's because of that oxide layer, but if you wear through that oxide layer, it could gall. Now, let's talk about Ultem. Ultem, because I use Ultem, people will be like, well, why don't you use Ultem, or why don't you use bronze again for this mech? Well, the problem with bronze is that as it breaks down, as it breaks in, I should say, particles of the bronze will get pinched in those pinholes and it will seize up for that reason. So that's not galling, that's just breaking. There's not enough clearance in those holes, and it needs to be a tight fit. So Ultem is a better fit. Now, Ultem is not created equal. We use glass-filled Ultem, not standard Ultem. This is something I haven't ever talked about because I didn't want people to really know this. But glass-filled Ultem is much harder than standard Ultem. It's not the opaque stuff, but it's much harder and has a much higher wear resistance. So, and then when that breaks in, the particles will embed in the Ultem where it went in the bronze, and it won't seize up. So when we make things, I know all of these material characteristics. I know what works really, really well together and what doesn't, and I base all of my materials on that. Now, talking about the fusion, the bronze mechanism in there, are there things to do to lighten it up? I've already skeletonized it a lot. There might be some more that I can do. You guys, with your feedback, I'm gonna try to make it maybe a little bit lighter. There's not a whole lot I can do, but the titanium clip is going to change that balance point for you guys. So I think you're really going to like that. I'll keep working on this stuff, but I just wanted to do this because of the comments that I heard talking about how I should be using titanium for the mech, and this is why I will never do that. Hopefully that clears it up. If you guys got any questions, you can YouTube this, you can Google it, you can get on ChatGPT, you can do whatever you want. This is pretty much everything that I know. So, but if you have questions, you want to hit me up, go ahead. That's all I got. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you.